you're doing all right. It is 6:01 a.m. and I'm about to travel. And because I'm about to travel, I don't have a lot of time, but I don't have a lot of time, but we are going to do some mobility this morning. So, hey there. I hope you're doing all right this morning. I know I am. And I am ready to get started and get back home. But I also didn't want to skip this morning's routine, even though it's going to be a bit shorter, because I am a bit pressed for time. I thought about skipping altogether. First of all, I had set my alarm for 30 minutes from now, but I woke up. And then, because I woke up, I figured I might as well just do a 10 to 15 minute routine to at least get the benefit of what I'm doing. Now, the camera is turned in such a way that I can't see the chat. My laptop's backed up, so I don't really have a screen that I can follow the chat along, but if you drop by, you go ahead and say hi, and let me know that you're watching. For those of you who are watching, my name is Toby. I am 30 years old, 30 years old, 40 years old, and I train for living an active, self-sufficient, and adventurous life. Any time of the day, any time of the year, but especially now in my 40s, heading to my 50s, 60s, 70-year-old, I would like to be fit and capable for life and whatever life throws at me. The way I do that is I try to mind my sleep, I try to mind my nutrition, I try to mind my strength training, conditioning training, and mobility training. And this morning we're going to do a bit of easy and light mobility here on this little stretch in the hotel room. This is about the way I feel, not about the way I look, and I want to feel fit and competent. So if that's something you're interested in, you can go ahead and subscribe to my channel, where you can see me live stream every day and talk about health and fitness in my 40s. And as you can see, regardless of the day, I do try to show up and do some of the work that needs to be done. No kettlebells here today. No gym that I could quickly go to, because after this I'm hopping in the shower, heading down, checking out, and heading home. And that's something I'm also looking forward to. But it's too easy to say no. Now, a couple of insights. I'm going to breathe in from traveling the last couple of days. Really using the diaphragm to push everything down. And I'm going to work on that neck mobility, because I also really want to improve my posture at the top. So a couple of things about maintaining a routine while traveling. First of all, there's a conflict, because last night was Friday night. It was a social night with a friend whom I hadn't seen in a long while, because he lives in the city that I was in for business. So we had dinner, talked, and went to the theater. And now, usually at home, it's easy to get to bed on time because the social engagement is at home with the family. So being here already 2 nights in a row, getting to bed at a later time was an issue. And the only reason I'm up early and ahead of my alarm is because I have the routine. But what's suffering, obviously, is the hours of sleep. Today was even a bit under 6 hours, so my guess is that I'm going to crash around noon or on the flight home, which is fine, because part of traveling maybe is being tired, so that's all right. But it's harder in a setting like that. You have to make a decision. Am I okay with 2 nights of a lot less sleep in favor of some social time with colleagues and with friends, which I otherwise wouldn't be able to spend time with, and to have the experience in London of going to the theatre, which I think is just in general a good experience to have once in a while, but specifically here, it is nice to have that. And my choice was, I think I would be okay with 2 nights, a bit of a lack of sleep in favor for this, because the opportunity won't come again anytime soon. And I'm glad we got to spend the time together. I think it was good for me, for other reasons as well. And a really good theater show also, by the way. So worth keeping that in mind. And that brings us to the next thing, which is how we've been eating. And yesterday was a terrible day for food and snacking. And I can tell you why. Because I didn't sleep enough. So you're traveling, you're away from home. The regular diet isn't available. And gives you child's pose. And because the regular diet isn't available, a bit low in protein, a bit low in the foods I like. There's a bit of stress involved from the traveling, so what happens when you have a lack of sleep? You simply start eating. Now, nothing per se wrong with that, but I can tell you, it's been 2-3 days. I look forward to getting back to my regular routine of eating and drinking at home. What I usually eat and drink. So, it's another challenge of traveling. I think I did reasonably well, but yesterday was just that one day into 10% where a lot of the food had nothing to do with fueling any kind of performance, but had more to do with actually just mindlessly eating sweet, sugary stuff, which I didn't even really enjoy that much. So there you have it. It tasted good in the moment. Didn't really make me feel any better after I'd eaten it. Not guilty about it. I enjoyed it. But I definitely wouldn't want to be going through life eating that way it's a bit hard to see because of the bed, so sorry about that. Sometimes we just have to work with the space we have, and this is a space we have here today, so that is what we are going to use. Going to rock back and forth. Going to do the cat and cow. The other thing is, it's the weekend, so I have some time tonight and tomorrow to catch up on the sleep that I've missed for sure. But I'm going to have to rethink. I'm going to have to be mindful of how much time or of how much sleep I get today when I get home, and tomorrow, and what we do this afternoon. And as you can see here, working on the mobility in my shoulders, which over the course of this year has become better and better, because we're showing up every day and doing the work. There's some hip mobility next, and then we're almost done for today. Like I said, short session, but I just wanted to get some movement in before taxiing to the airport, and then sitting most of the day, most of the morning. Is this enough to offset all of the sitting I do in a day? No, that's why I go for walks, take the stairs when I can, multiple stories in the office, because these 30 minutes of training, regardless of how pleasant they are, are not sufficient to offset all of the sitting. Ideally, I'd spend 3 to 4 hours walking and moving around in a day, not doing any kind of sports, but just in terms of how much movement I think I'd need to stay fit and healthy. So for every hour of sitting, there would be at least an hour of moving. I'll try to fit that into a day at the office. You're going to run out of time very quickly, right? So to take a deep sit. Don't have any kilo weight at the moment to kind of balance me out. And finally, the ankles. And the knees. And that's going to be it. Then we are going to be done for the day. And as always, we always feel better for having shown up and do the work. I was saying about my posture, I notice that my is slightly drooping forward from the shoulders down, and trying to work on reminding myself to stay upright. I notice it when I do swings, and this, and the ability to stand upright and tall is what we're aiming for. So and there we are, 15 minutes of mobility done this morning. So for those of you who are watching, thanks for dropping by. My name is Toby. I train to live an active, self-sufficient and adventurous life. I do it by focusing on my sleep, nutrition, strength, conditioning and mobility training. And Saturday I usually do mobility. But today I'm traveling, so I don't have a lot of time. Usually I do this for a bit of a longer period. But I have to get ready and head to the airport. As you can see, this is a hotel room, and if you go to my other videos, you'll see this is not my regular setting. I can't see the messages because I flipped the phone the wrong way around this morning when I set up to get started. It's about the way I feel, not about the way I look. I want to feel fit and competent going through life. I'm in my 40s, 50, 60, 70, and I don't want to have too much discomfort and disease towards the end of my life. And apparently a few changes in my lifestyle today might help prevent that and help me make the most of life while I get there. So double win for me, I guess. We're good just the way we are. We've got to love ourselves before we can move on. Whatever our fitness journey is, I think sometimes we forget that being harsh and cruel to the person we are today doesn't necessarily help us, because it's that person who's going to get us to where we want to be tomorrow. So, let's be kind. There are enough people out there who want to put us down. We don't have to do it to ourselves. We should try to lift ourselves up, always. And friends, the only way to get anything done is by showing up and doing the work. So if you like what I talk about, what I'm interested in, health, fitness at 40, go ahead, subscribe to my channel. And I will see you tomorrow in another stream or in another video. Take care, friend. Thanks for dropping by.